holding others accountable with kindness and principles. It is important to note that I am assuming you have properly communicated the expectations and that your team members understand why these various expectations are important. Clear is kind, unclear is unkind. So do us all a favor and be kind. It is important to set the key expectations. And how do you do this? What are our key expectations? Well, that you follow the assignment sheet, the quick assignment view, which you see above, that you conduct quality on-time activities and you have a serving heart, and that you have reliable performance and follow the team member credo and principles, which, in a nutshell, boil down to the fact that we want our folks to have a yes attitude, assume the best intentions of other people, and really create that drama-free environment. And that all starts with being open to coaching. The Aria Accountability Conversation Model is called Speak Up. One of the leadership dilemmas we face is how do we balance discussing performance issues while still showing that we care about the person? This video will try to give you some tips and strategies to enable you to strike a balance between accountability and care so that you're better equipped to handle difficult conversations with those you lead. Constructive feedback can be uncomfortable to give, but that's okay. It's not about your comfort. It's about helping the other person. First thing you have to do is share your story. Share the story that you're making up in your head. Discuss the things that you observed and how it made you feel. Being brave may feel uncomfortable, but that's okay. It's not about your comfort. It's about helping the other person. The second step is the letter P, that you discuss your observation in a principled and kind manner. Use your Aria inner voice. Aria is a songbird and speaks with an even tone. She's certainly not going to yell or scream or try to belittle someone. Aria also knows that it's important to have sensitive conversations in a private place. Don't be too emotional or judgmental. Be calm. Calmness is being in the midst of a chaotic situation, yet remaining physically, emotionally, and mentally centered. You must go in with a positive attitude. Being positive doesn't mean that you're ignoring the negative. It means you're overcoming it, and that's a huge difference. Let's shape our conversations so that we avoid those emotional pitfalls that distract us from our goals. The fourth point is to assume the best intentions of others. Listen, really focus on the issue. Debating our course of action from here forward is encouraged, but debating the past is not. It's best to have informal conversations, but if you're uncomfortable or the team member just isn't making improvements, then you need to utilize the Clear the Air tool. Please remember that this tool is not a negative. We want to improve your performance. We want to improve our performance. Together, we are going to document a plan to correct the shortfalls. First off, let's reset those expectations and make sure they're clear. Let's explain why the performance shortfall is important. Next, be specific about what the team member must do to improve their performance, and it's going to include boundaries and obstacles. Now, we have a low tolerance for mistakes of the heart, things like ignoring situations, denying problems, saying it's not my fault, doing the blame game, taking credit when it belongs to others, things along those lines. We just don't tolerate mistakes of the heart. Next, we want to discuss the support that you might need. Maybe that's training, or maybe it's we're not holding people accountable. Maybe our culture is flawed, or we have motivation issues for some reason. And finally, we're going to follow up on our expectations and reward progress. And remember that every action has a reaction. There are consequences for your behavior, both negative and positive. Next, we are going to act out a couple of informal scenarios. Let me set the scene for you. During your shift, the teammate you're working with breaks out a blanket and sits on the couch. You ask her, what are you doing? And she replies, well, I'm cold. I haven't been feeling well lately, so I'm going to sit on the couch with my blanket. Oh, I almost forgot. Let me grab my pillow. Is this a problem? Why? What's your next step? Let me set the scene for Act 2. You have been staying late because your teammate consistently shows up for their shift 55 minutes late. You ask them, why are they late? And they reply, it's hard for me to get to work by 6:30 a.m. I have to help my kids get ready for school. I wouldn't be late if I could come in at 7:30. I need you to change my start time. Is it a problem that the team member shows up an hour late to work on a regular basis? If so, why? And what's your next step? It is challenging to be a leader in the healthcare industry. You must be ready for continuous change. The best leaders are extremely flexible, and more importantly, they know when to use this flexibility. For instance, it's pretty safe to assume that you can't bring your blankie to work. And I also can't change your shift time, but we can discuss why you accepted a shift when you can't work the hours of that shift. We can also discuss what hours can work for you. Maybe there's a different role or a different schedule that's available. We will try to work with your strengths, but it only goes so far. Let's maximize the ability of each team member at this stage in their life. We're all at different stages in our personal development. I know I treated work differently at 19 than when I was 28 or 36 or 48 or, oh my Lord, I'm feeling old. Let's just stick with 49. So be flexible, but remember that there are boundaries. And we must enforce those boundaries for the sake of the residents. Here are a few leadership coaching boundaries that I have for the leads. Number 1, follow the S.P.E.A.K method. Number 2, you need approval and assistance regarding formal disciplinary action. You must talk to your supervisor. Number 3, you can clear the air anytime you want. Number 4, you can suspend a team member for the remainder of their shift. If you think something is significant enough, that is okay and acceptable. Number 5, you serve as a role model to the team member credo and our leadership principles. Those are your boundaries. Now work within them. Now let's discuss some boundaries for the executive director and director of nursing. Number 1, it's the shift start and end times. They need to be per the schedule. If there is a significant change, then I need to approve it. Number 2, Derek needs to do a review and approve any potential terminations or even a significant change in the team member status. And by that I mean somebody goes from full-time to part-time, or you want to make them go from full-time to PRN. A significant reduction of someone's hours needs to be approved by me. It is up to you to build the culture of a drama-free home, to listen with an open mind, to provide support to those in need, and to be persuasive. Being persuasive is key. You need to execute on our high expectations and have our team do that. Ask yourself, what can I do to get it done? Remember that the team member actions are not just a reflection on them. They are a reflection of each of you and the entire house. Reward reliable performance. The next time you are faced with a team member situation, be sure to speak up. S. Share the story in your head. P. The principles. Use your Aria voice. E. Your emotions are controlled. A. Assume the best intentions of others. And K. Clear the air conversations. Let's speak up. Oh, and the up, it's about making sure that you follow up.